So this morning, we're going to start off with our community spotlight featuring Hispanic seniors of Idaho. We're excited to have with us Raul Enriquez. And Raul is the executive director of the Southwest Idaho Area Agency on Aging that provides multiple services for seniors such as adult protection, home delivered meals, congregate homemaker and caregiver services. Raul personally has worked in the field of aging for almost 20 years. His first job was working out in the field as a case manager, assisting seniors to access resources. He eventually became the supervisor of the staff and eventually transitioned to work at the state level, writing and managing senior service grants. Raul managed the Senior Community Service Employment Program, Aging and Disabilities, No Wrong Door, and the Information and Assistance Program during his time at the state. Raul, welcome this morning. We're very excited to have you, and you may take the floor.
Cool. So I guess I can share my screen, right?
Please.
All right. Right. Can you guys see that okay? Yeah. So I wanted to talk about this a group that we're working with. It's the Hispanic Seniors of Idaho. They are their own nonprofit. We just provide them with support. I'm going to talk a little bit about what the work that we're doing with them, and in general, what the overall mission and vision of the group is. So I did want to clarify that we're an agency supporting them as a nonprofit. It does coincide in the work that we do, in the sense that we are tasked to one of the objectives that's being tasked to us when we receive federal funds is that we target those seniors that are more at risk for institutional placement. And if you look at demographically, if you look, there's certain demographic indicators that make you more prevalent, or the odds are, or the risk is higher for you to be placed in long-term care. And so, our biggest priority is to ensure that people live at home as long as possible independently. And so reaching the Hispanic population, senior population, minority groups in general are more at risk to be placed in long-term care. So there's different ways that we track that. And I kind of wanted to share a little bit what brought us to this point in working with this group, and then kind of share a little bit more about the group and some of the programs that we offer. About 3 years ago, we received a grant to do specifically to improve or increase the number of Hispanic seniors over the age of 60 participating in our program. And one of the ways the grant specifically had us focus on caregivers, and we had some lessons learned from that. And from that grant, it's helped us to increase the number of Hispanics that are seniors that are participating in our programs. A couple of the lessons learned that we had from the program was, and this is just kind of like lessons learned from us, hope maybe to support whatever strategies that you have to reach the Hispanic community. It seems like every time I'm working with every time I'm talking to a nonprofit, everybody has this kind of goal or objective to target and reach the Hispanic population. And so we've learned some things over the years. Now, you would assume, because I'm Hispanic, that I would that I would know how to reach my own community. But I think as far as I'm fairly acclimated to American culture, so I think there's been some things that I've had to learn as well in targeting and reaching my own population. So if you want to reach the Hispanic population, here's a few tips. Attend the activities that they attend. And so, usually, we had to think outside the box. We started going to festivals, and normally a lot of the outreach is after hours. So, and that poses some challenges. You have to have staff that are willing to work after hours, weekends, that kind of stuff. But more than likely, if you're going to reach this population, a lot of them are still working. And so if you, so we had to kind of modify our approach in that way. Also, we modified programs. We provide some of them in Spanish now. Our consumer direct program that Julie, who's on the call right now, that was, I guess, the implementer of that program, really helped with that in the sense that we were able to provide services in a way that where the Hispanic community was more comfortable. And I can go in using this program. I don't want to go into too much detail because I know that we're limited on time, but modifying the programs to best fit the population is another approach. We hired quite a bit of bilingual staff. I think I have 6 staff. I think there's 2 of them you got 3 out of the 6 staff that we have that are employed here at our agency that are bilingual. And it isn't so much that they're bilingual, it's that they're part of the community. And so, we've hired people within the Hispanic community that people trust. And so I think that's another thing that we learned. Also, provide social activities, provide food. It gets people to events, those kinds of things, parties, because, Hispanics, we love to party. So those are just a few tips that I wanted to go over, but I'll go in here some of the services that we got. So I was mentioning earlier, we specifically do have outreach to the Hispanic community. A couple of objectives that we have in our strategic plan is to increase the participation of Hispanic seniors going to senior centers, congregate meal sites, and also participating in our home delivered meals program. For most of our programs, there's been an increase since the implementation of that grant. All the programs have seen some increase of seeing Hispanic seniors participating in our program. Incidentally, not a ton of people. I think there's been a slight drop actually of Hispanic seniors going into senior centers. And so that's going to go into a little bit about what I'm going to talk about here about the Hispanic Seniors of Idaho. We provide a kinship support group, grandparents raising grandchildren, also, in general, relatives. I saw Charlie Hahn on the call too, so I wanted to correct myself. So not just grandparents raising grandchildren, but any relatives that are raising that have stepped up and are taking care of children. We provide a support group from them, and we specifically provide one in Spanish, and that one meets at the Hispanic Community Center, formerly known as the Hispanic Cultural Center. They meet there once a month. And so we also provide a diabetes self-management program in Spanish, and also managing chronic pain group workshop in Spanish as well. And if you want more information on that, please reach out to me and I can connect you to the staff that are responsible for that program, for those 2 programs. So the Hispanic Seniors of Idaho, they are their own nonprofit. They get together on a weekly basis. I think they might still be. I know that they were. Yeah, I think they just recently. Right now, I think they're at jackpot, or I'm not sure if they went and came back already, but they do social activities. And the main goal of this group is to provide socialization activities for Hispanic seniors to participate in. So they'll go to different senior centers to visit together as a group. Mainly the ones that they go to is the Caldwell Senior Center and the Parma Senior Center. And once a month they meet and they do a potluck once a month at the Hispanic Community Center. They also do annual events. They have a Thanksgiving event. They also have a Christmas event. And this group, when they meet, it's just an opportunity again to socialize. It's a community. They support each other. And probably the other crucial part of this group is it does provide a venue to get access to information. So they have guest speakers, presenters to share about information, and it's a really good a group to go to if you're specifically targeting this population. We do have an opportunity. I did receive a little bit of funding to potentially establish this group as its own senior center. So to be its own congregate meal site. And so I did receive funding, and it will help in some of the costs to put this together. It's a huge undertaking because the funding that I'm using is going to require some development, and that is things like making sure that whoever's cooking the food needs to be certified, and also as a nonprofit, there's certain things that we require for providers to have. How much time do I have? Just checking in.
I think you've got like 3 minutes left.
Okay, I'll keep going here. So if you're, if you are interested in supporting this kind of effort to establish this group and helping some of the development of this group, please let me know. We're hoping this, we're going to start next week actually with our first lunch that's being funded by these grant funds. So if you're interested in that, please reach out. These are some of the groups. When the group gets together, we have organizations that help us to rally around this group and support the group. There's about I would say about 30 people that attend this group. But these are the groups. The city of Nampa actually runs a Hispanic Community Center, and they provide the space for them. City of Good also provides meal kits for them to take home after the group, and so that's a really good support that's being provided for the group. I think that is all I was going to share. Yeah, but if you are interested in helping out with the group, or if you want to know anything else, anything more about the group, please reach out to me, and I can share more in detail. So thanks.
Thank you, Raul. I do have a question for you personally. How is I saw about the meal distribution. Is that only done or hosted during these lunch programs? And is that when they would take a box home or something? How is this? It's not set up like Meals on Wheels. That's right? Not anything that broad-based?
No. We try to do deliveries, and it's just difficult to coordinate. So every time the group gets together, there's a meal kit that's being provided to them, and the food is good for 2 or 3 meals. So
Okay.
yeah. And it's a really cool way that they're doing it. Is various restaurants pitch into this meal kit. So these are not frozen dinners. These are entrees, that are prepared at various restaurants that are participating. So it's a pretty interesting way of delivering food.
How many people does a meal kit feed?
Well, I mean, gosh, that's a really good question. I would say 2.
Okay,
So it would be 4 meals, I guess, in one kit. Yeah.
that's one last question, unless anybody else has a question for him. I'm looking here, I'm not seeing. So I have another question. How many people currently are aware within the senior or the senior Hispanic population that you're serving? How many people are currently actively, would you guess, knowledgeable about this, participating, being actively engaged with the program?
Mhm. When I attend the group, there's probably about 25 people that go. But I would, I think their contact list is a lot bigger than that, because not everybody that is aware of the program goes. So I don't know. I'm thinking you're probably looking at 40 to 50 people.
And can they take more? Is there more room for further engagement and more people to be involved, and you're trying to get the word out to get more people actively participating?
The capacity, not well, the city of Nampa, I would say yes. The space that the city of Nampa is offering us isn't, could probably fit you could probably double the size. You could probably do 50.
Okay, so there's room for more growth. That's great information. I think that helps all of us be able to say who and how can we, move more people towards that group and engage it further and grow it and improve the community that you're trying to serve. So I think that helps us understand a little bit more. Thank you so very much for your time this morning and the information. I think it's very valuable for all of us.